News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umar Rusanda Amadou, and tonight I'm here with
Eno Safo.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes, 8 persons dead in OT regions in Kwanta following exchange of gunshots between two ethnic groups over this year's Yam Festival celebration. Meanwhile, in the Kintampo constituency, the Speaker of Parliament wants to avert any misunderstandings between two ethnic groups by summoning the Minister for National Security over another festival there. Also coming up, NDC flag bearer John Mahama and NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia clash over the 24-hour economy proposed by the former president. We'll be having the debate here on Eyewitness News. And later on Eyewitness News, information coming through from the House of Parliament. The Speaker's residence now an island. All others surrounding SIM have been sold. This according to the Parliamentary Service, and it is coming 48 hours after the Speaker made a comment around the possible plan to sell his residence, which he said was averted by the fact that he was, one, in the House, and two, the Lands Commission did not approve SIM. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
government urged to put in place measures to check local cedi fluctuations ahead of festive season.
That's from the Citi Business Desk in 50 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a number of affiliate stations, including in the Western region on Beach 105.5 FM, Sky Power 93.5 FM in Takrady, both of them. In the Bono region on Greener 95.9 FM, I beg your pardon, in Sunyani. In Ahafo region on Hammers Radio 106.5 in Goso. In Ashanti region on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. If you go to the Volta region, we are on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu. In Northern region on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In Upper East, we are on Tanga 93.7 FM in Bolga. And Upper West, we are on Tungsung 97.3 FM in Wa, as well as Jirapa 96.1 FM in Jirapa in the Upper West region. The show is live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and live on citinewsroom.com. And we are interactive. 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. That's a WhatsApp number. On X, the hashtag is Citi Newsroom. Tweet at Umar Rusanda or at Citi973. We start off with disturbances in the OT region. And the developing story coming through from there is that some gunshots have been fired, and this is resulting in the death of at least 8 persons. It's a report that we have been following for you for the past few, more than 24 hours now. And it is a story that is really leading to problems where we are hearing from the security authority or security officials over there. The story is on our website. You can find it there. But let me just give you a summary that we have, which says that 8 people have reportedly died from gunshot wounds in renewed clashes in Nkwanta in the OT region. The conflict erupted between ethnic groups in the Nkwanta South municipality over this year's Yam Festival celebration. The story continues to say the clashes resulted in the burning of houses and many residents fled the town. We also have information that the Minister for the Interior has imposed a curfew on the town effective Tuesday, November 21 from 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily, and this is aimed at restoring calm. We'll be getting to the region for more on this particular story. Meanwhile, this is coming just 2 days or so after another incident in Wenchiki in the northeast region, that's in the in the northeast region, Cherponi in the northeast region, also resulted in the loss of lives. We are making attempts to hear from the Ministry for the Interior on this particular subject, as well as the National Security Ministry. Meanwhile, we are also just receiving story from our dashboard here from the correspondent we have in Parliament, who is giving us some information that the Speaker of the House, Alban Bagbin, has summoned the Minister for Defense and National Security to appear before the Defense and Interior Committees of Parliament on Thursday morning to provide a brief on actions taken by the government to forestall a clash between the Mo and Wangara tribes in the Kintampo North municipality. The story is that according to the Member of Parliament for the area, Joseph Kwame Kuma, tensions were rife when the Mo tribe requested to perform rituals within the months of November and December, which were coinciding with the annual Klubi festival of the Wangara community. In response to calls for a ceasefire by the MP, the Speaker directed that the government takes immediate steps in ensuring a peaceful coexistence. So those are multiple stories from various parts of the country that we are having an eye on. We'll be doing some interviews on that as soon as we can. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We can actually now hear from the Speaker as he gave the directive in the chamber today in response to the request made by the Member of Parliament for Kintampo South. Listen.
As the first authorities to come to this house to brief the Committee on Defense and Interior. This is an urgent matter that should be handled with dispatch. I think tomorrow should be okay for the two ministers and their commanders to appear before the committee early tomorrow morning by 9 a.m. to brief the committee. It's an urgent matter. The National Security Council, through their regional office, should immediately intervene because the chieftaincy institution is one of the cornerstones of the peace and security of our country. And we hold that institution dearly. And we should do everything to prevent that institution from falling into disarray. But this, I think, is a simple matter. The president of the Wangara community is the president of the Wangara community in Ghana. That is what the statement says. Not just in the Kintampo traditional area, in Ghana. And so they have a festival, which is an annual festival they celebrate, called Klubi Festival, within the period. The paramount chief of Mo, and we know how key the Mo tribe is in Ghana, even though a lot of them are rather in Côte d'Ivoire. It's a very important tribe. The paramount chief of the Mo and the president of the Mo Traditional Council is deciding to perform some rituals. That one is not an annual festival because that festival is the Benkadi Kurubi Festival. And there's a period for celebration, but it is just to perform some rituals. It's a belief that if that is done, some spirits could intervene to try to prevent accidents and other criminal activities within the area. So they don't have the same, to me, imports. And they can easily be handled differently. I don't see why there should be a clash. But please, let's leave it to the experts to handle. And as I said, because it's an emergency matter, dealing with the safety, security of all of us, particularly the investment that has been made in Kintampo. We have the College of Health at Kintampo, and they handle a lot of the professional mix in our health sector. I've been there many times, especially when I was the Minister for Health. And then we have the waterfall, a very important tourist attraction. And we have the senior high. So there's a lot that we've invested in Kintampo, even though the infrastructure might not be the best. But almost all tribes are settled in Kintampo, particularly the Mu, the Bunu, the Wangaras, the Konkumbes, and a lot of the northern tribes are settled there. We have a lot of Gunjas there too. And so it's a national matter, and I think that we should take it serious. So please, table office, kindly convey to the two ministers that as a matter of urgency, they should tomorrow appear before the Committee on Defense and Interior to brief the committee as to what actions are being taken. If there's the need for the House to move there, the House will do so to try and prevent any clash and any eventualities. With this, we'll end the period of statement.
So that's the Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagben, speaking about the situation in Kintampo South and other security-related issues, and calling for the Committee on the Interior and Defense to deal with the matters arising from same. And the big story we are following is from Nkwanta, where we are receiving the information about the death of 8 persons as a result of a clash between 2 ethnic groups in that particular area. We are making attempts to hear from the Regional Minister for OT. When we do, we will speak to him. We actually have him on the line now, the OT Regional Minister, who is also chairman of the OT Regional Security Council. Let's go there to Dambai, where his regional coordinating council operates from, and speak to him. Honorable Joshua Makubu, you're welcome to Eyewitness News on Citi FM, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother.
What brief have you received in relation to the situation in Nkwanta?
Okay, so when we conveyed this morning in my office, the brief from the National Security, NIB, and then the police indicated that the presence of the security in Nkwanta has some level of calmness into this is not to say that level of anxiety is not so high, it's high, but whatever the possibility of people getting up in the midst of the security wanting to attack each other has come down. Some people had regained some level of confidence due to the presence of the security and then the imposition of curfew. And then the current troops are not only men that are doing patrol things, but also now to take intelligence and then get some leads and follow on some antecedents that have led to these particular clashes. So I think that was the brief, and then we moved into looking at how to identify those who have been displaced, locate them, and assess the environment in which they are, whether it's conducive enough for human, and if the need for us to call on government, NGOs, and the good people of Ghana come in to offer some level of support to ensure that even though they are displaced as a result of these classes, their conditions, the environment in which they live are not well.
Regional Minister, what led to the situation we witnessed in Nkwanta? Do we know? Was there a prediction? Was there an attempt to preempt it?
Yeah, we are aware that of the land litigation, that the festival thing came, and based on the land litigation, objections were raised, and we call up the separation of the festival. That led to the initial clashes on on Saturday, the 28th of October. But then some level of calmness has returned. On daily basis, we can take intelligence of purported plans to attack some particular houses and communities, which the police and other security agencies have moved in to ensure that those things were not carried out by those perpetrators. We engaged the youth and we spoke to them. They gave us their assurances. But the Monday's event, which triggered this and led to the loss of, unfortunate loss of the 8 lives, to me, as a matter of fact, I didn't have any information on that until the MC called me Monday in the evening around 4:30 to inform me that he had been informed of some sporadic gunshots around the market area, and the police had been dispatched to go and then stop the situation. So it didn't come. We knew we were having a problem at hand. Then the security were working at that around the clock to ensure that there were no renewed classes. But the Monday's event took us by surprise, especially my outfit. I had not gotten any hint that there could be any possible classes in an open environment like that. But we were being suspicious of clashes or attacks on some houses that are located in some areas, and protection were offered for such houses to avoid attacks. But this one, to me, it came as a surprise.
Hearing you say that sounds as if it was a serious security lapse or security failure on your part as someone who is supposed to coordinate security agencies in the region. For you not to have even preempted or heard or actually be surprised by this is surprising.
We preempted the occurrence of what? Attacks. But the intelligence we picked led us to attacks that were likely to have been on communities and some particular houses. And that were properly and effectively dealt with, and those ones did not occur. But the occurrence at the market in an open place, I don't think that, there was some level of suspicion that at least possibly in the market, in a broad daylight, anything of that sort could happen. But there were intelligence that, look, people may want to plan a reprisal attack, people on some houses and communities. And the police did their best to inform us, and whatever support they required, they were giving to ensure that no village was attacked, no community was attacked, and houses.
Hello, sir. Hello. Apologies, I've lost the OT regional minister. We'll try to re-establish connection to him. He was just clarifying for us the situation in Nkwanta, explaining what measures were taken ahead of the clash, but the target, like he's saying there, was for a different aspect or area. They had suspected reprisals in some communities. They moved in to preempt and neutralize these particular threats. But this particular one of sporadic gunshots in an open market in broad daylight, rather, there was an intelligence failure on that. It's not something that they expected, like he's saying. And so I was just going to ask him if this lesson has been learned from this, moving forward, if this is the first time we are seeing open or gunshots being fired in an open market in broad daylight, because Nkwanta may not necessarily be in the history as one of the places that we usually see clashes of this nature, but that is the situation. I think we've lost the regional minister, Honorable Joshua Makubu. Unfortunately, we were unable to re-establish connection to him in the regional capital, Dambai, where he was speaking to us from. But we'll move on and look at other stories that we have here on Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You know your papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz?
No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer.
Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design?
It's superb.
Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency.
Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman.
Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
Are you ready? Val Real Estate Ghana is thrilled to continue its success story in Accra by revealing Legato Heights, where melody meets luxury. Prepare to be dazzled by high-rise elegance at unbeatable off-plan prices. Situated in the prestigious location of Ridge, Legato Heights promises a lifestyle of opulence and convenience. It's not just an apartment complex, it's an experience crafted for the discerning few. Join the anticipation and watch this space as we launch this development on the 24th of November. To book your unit, call us toll-free on 0800 888 888. VAL, Africa's gate to real estate.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka, in Accra, around the globe on citinewsroom.com. My name is Umaru Sandamadu here with Enu Safo. Let's look at the campaign trail of the two leading flag bearers. Now, the NPP has a flag bearer in the Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The NDC has a flag bearer in the former President John Dramani Mahama. The two of them have been moving around the country, trying to start the campaign for election 2024. It appears one of the topical issues that may be big ahead of the election 2024 has to do with the 24-hour economy. The former President John Mahama promised that if he is elected again as president, he was going to ensure that we do not work from 8 to 5 or 8 to 4 or work during the day and sleep during the night. Rather, people would work 24 hours. He says Kofi would work in the morning, hand over to Kwame hands over to Isaac, and that the cycle continues. Let's hear him, John Mahama, first, and then hear the response from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and have a conversation on it. Let's hear former President Mahama first.
The 24-hour economy initiative I propose will be voluntary. It will not be imposed. Businesses will be encouraged to sign up with tax incentives provided for them and enhanced security and lower electricity tariffs after peak hours. Special meters will be employed to provide what is known as time of use tariff to deliver cheaper power to such businesses during especially the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 a.m.
So that's former President and NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama. Let's hear the retorts from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, NPP flag bearer and Vice President.
So what is this 24-hour economy that you want to bring? It is purely an issue for any business. If you feel you will make money opening 24 hours, there is no law preventing you from opening. But this is one idea that John Mahama thinks he has brought. It is a bad idea. It is an idea that has not been thought through. It is a bad idea. And so I want you to compare me and John Mahama. Who has the ideas to transform this economy? Who has the ideas? Who has the ideas? Yes, the track record of John Mahama doesn't show innovative thinking. It doesn't show ideas. The track record of Dr. Baumia is idea after idea after idea after idea after idea. That is the difference. I tell you, I have my own priorities and I will have my own vision. When I become president, I will bring more ideas, and you will hear about them very soon.
So that's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He's a vice president and also NPP flag bearer. Dennis Miracles Buaji is a former municipal chief executive and one of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign spokespersons. He's joined us on the line. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Mario.
I've just heard former President Mahama there explain that it is not compulsory, this 24-hour project or economy that he's proposing is going to be voluntary, but there will be incentives for businesses that do that. I've heard your boss respond and say that it is a bad idea. How bad an idea this is?
Thanks, Barrow. I think, first of all, we need to take note that the Vice President preceded the bad idea comments with a specific statement that this is something that is already in existence, that is running. It is organic. If there is a demand and supply situation, once the business feels that if I open up to 10 p.m., I sell, I have a pharmacy inside Lakeside Estates. And then based on the time that people sleep within Lakeside Estate, if I sell up to 11 p.m., they will buy. And the person tries it and people come and buy, the person will open. Every businessman wants money. Every businessman wants to sell. And so if you come and say, vote for me, and I have an idea, and this is the idea, an idea that is organic, an idea that is already playing out, then it is a bad idea. I think we need to put it into very, very, very contextualize it.
So are you saying it's a bad idea, or you are saying it already exists and there's no need to do it?
That is why I said you need to contextualize the Vice President point. The whole 24-hour economy thing, what he said was that it's already playing out. His only point is that you cannot legislate it. You cannot compel people to open their businesses beyond times when they feel that their businesses will thrive. That's the Vice President's point. And so if you say
but the former president did not say it's compulsory. In fact, he said it is going to be voluntary for organizations, and if they sign on to it, they will be getting some tax incentives and so on.
And you heard the Vice President say that there is no law in Ghana that is preventing or barring any business person to open their businesses beyond a certain time. What it means is that, first of all, you say you've got a policy. The policy lacks clarity. And then when we seek for clarity, you say, well, it is voluntary. Currently, it is voluntary for businesses to open 24 hours. Is that the case, Umaru? It is voluntary. It is not mandatory for businesses to open 24 hours. Neither is it illegal for businesses to open 24 hours. So if you say that I have an idea and my policy is that I would run a 24-hour economy, and then when you are probed further, you say it is going to be voluntary, it is a bad idea. It is not well thought through. Because if you bring a policy that you say is voluntary...
So which one is bad? The idea itself or the modus of...
I think it is the fact that the idea itself is no idea at all. That's the point that we're making.
So the phrasing should have been, it's a new idea, not that it's a bad idea, because it's already playing out. So how is it a bad idea?
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying that the bad idea, you must look at the precedent, the statement that the vice president made preceding the bad idea. The vice president made several comments. So you cannot say that he said the whole idea thing is a bad idea. He said specifically that, listen, you cannot legislate a policy to say that open mandatorily beyond a certain time. There is no law at the moment that is stopping anybody from opening. And in fact, if you play the entire comments, he went on to indicate that there are several businesses that are already operating 24 hours, which is true. Today, as I speak with you right now, there are Ghanaian citizens who have just woken up and are changing and getting ready to go to work in the Tema industrial area. There are some who are going to work in the Takrady industrial areas. It has been playing out. If you go to the abattoir area right now, there are biscuit factories that are going to operate till tomorrow. Coca-Cola, Sprinters, Coca-Cola roundabout area. There are industries that are going to be operating tomorrow. Today, there are banks that are operating 24 hours. Because if you want to send money, if you want to withdraw money, if you want to, whatever you want to transact with the banks, you would be able to do it even at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. Pharmacies.
You can walk into a banking hall at 2 a.m.?
Must you walk into a banking hall before you access their service?
So you're referring to virtual businesses?
But that is all part. When you say an economy, it's part. Right now, as I speak to you, I'm not in your studio, but I'm speaking with you on phone. And so you are operating. You are running on Facebook. You are operating. I don't have to be inside Citi FM. Omar, if I may, I don't have to be inside Citi FM before we say that Citi FM is operating. And the point is that 24-hour economy is playing out already in Ghana in several sectors. So we have not in any way, under any circumstance, nobody in the MPP has said that 24-hour economy is a bad thing. All we are saying is that it is not a unique idea and that it is not something that it is an output of certain activities or actions. It is a demand and supply situation. Accra here, you can come and operate 24-hour economy in Lakeside Estate because it's a residential area. But if you go to Lagos Avenue right now, they are just about to open. If you go to Oxford Street, they are about to open. If you go to Taba Industrial area, they are about to open. Come to the abattoir area, go to the Coca-Cola roundabout area. Omaru, where in the world, which economy in the world that runs 24 hours, runs everywhere in the country 24 hours? There are specific locations in the cities that run 24 hours. All over the world. All over the world. There are specific locations in the cities that run 24 hours. And the point we are making is that that is already playing out here in Ghana. So maybe what the former president should do for us is that maybe we lack clarity and understanding of exactly what he means by he's come up with an idea and is going to run 24 hours. Maybe when he does that, then he can bring clarity. But there is nothing wrong with us asking questions about a proposal by a flag bearer, which we believe that it is a no idea at all. Because if you're not going to make it legislated and it's not going to be mandatory, how are you going to compel me, the pharmacy owner at Asalibotre, who is closing at 9 p.m. that at all costs, because you have a policy that says you run 24 hours, I should go and open. I will only open when I have demand for it. And again, last one, the confusion around this whole proposal is that the interpretations from the NDC is too many. Some are saying that, don't worry, even ministries will open 24 hours, they'll run 3 shifts so that it will create jobs. The question is that, is it the current ministry staff that are going to split into 3 so that it creates jobs, or the current ministry staff will remain one stream and that you are going to employ a double of this same staff for them to operate midnight? And then I've also heard some say that, well, DVLA, passport office, they are all closing. ECG, and no, they are all closing. The point is that ECG doesn't have to open at 1 a.m. for you to walk in. You are buying your electricity at 1 a.m. You are calling 0302-611-611, complaining about your fault, and they are coming to fix it. That is ECG working in the middle of the night to give you the services that you require. So we really need clarity as to what it means, because like we said before, we are not going to go into election 2024 with all those things that people will just come and make comments and propose things and then we don't ask questions. And no, we are going to contest the ideas. It is competing ideas. And that is all we are seeking to do. I believe that this should be put on record that we are only asking questions for clarity because we believe what is proposing is something that is an output of specific activities, and it's not one that you can just come and impose and say, I am running 24 hours, so from tomorrow, everybody should open 24 hours. It doesn't work like that.
Please indulge me and stay on the line because I want to see if I can get some answers for you.
Sure.
On the other line, I have Beatrice Annan. He speaks for the Mahama campaign. She's joined us on the line. Madam, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Good evening, Omar Sanda, and good evening to our cherished listeners.
The 24-hour economy is a bad idea, says Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. That's one. Two, his spokesperson is on the line. He says there is nothing new about what you are proposing. It's already playing out and that there is no demand for it. Unless there's a demand, it cannot be seen. Can you clarify what your plan is?
Thank you very much, Omar. Omar, listening to Miracle, my good friend, contradicting his boss this evening is a bit amazing. Miracle is admitting that, contrary to what his boss, Dr. Bawumia, thinks, this is not a bad idea. Secondly, we want to say that the idea of a 24-hour economy is not what the NPP understands. And when you understand the resources of that community, just like me.
Hello, madam. I'm losing you. Can you hear me? I'm really losing you. I don't know if you can do something about it. Hello? Please try and reposition yourself while we work to see if we can hear you because the line is tripping there. Beatrice Annan is one of the spokespersons of the John Mahama campaign, trying to respond there to the comments by Dennis Miracles Abuaji. Madam Beatrice, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, while we try to reestablish connection, let me return to Dennis. Miracles, I've heard former President Mahama when he first made this promise, he explained that due to security challenges, some people are unable to operate at night, for instance, Momo vendors, and that's something he would deal with. If you listen to the voice I just played, it talks about electricity supply for these particular purposes. He also talks about incentives for private businesses that would engage in this activity. Is that not clear enough? What more clarity do you want?
Omar is not. Omar, you see, we need to be a bit more, critical of some of these comments from our politicians. And I'll tell you what, Omar, where I live, okay, there are mobile money vendors there, but nobody needs a mobile money vendor in my area after 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. If you are going to need it, it may be exceptional cases.
Which area is this and why wouldn't they need it?
I don't want to mention, but it's a residential. I mean, there are several residential areas. And you may have emergency matters where one or two people may need some emergency